接下来，让我们有请州长代表、新州上议员多元文化议会秘书 Mr. Mark BUTTIGIEG 先生致辞。
Please welcome Mr. Mark BUTTIGIEG, Premier's Representative, New South Wales Senator, Parliamentary Secretary for Multiculturalism, to deliver a speech.
Thank you. And can I start by saying what an honour it is here to be representing Premier Minns on behalf of the New South Wales Labor Government. My name is Mark BUTTIGIEG. I am the Parliamentary Secretary for Multiculturalism and Industrial Relations. And I want to start by acknowledging and honouring the Indigenous peoples of this country, the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation. And as Auntie Rhonda Dixon, with that lovely welcome to country, said, 80,000 years of continuous culture before any one of us set foot on this land. And can I say, there's been a bit of controversy and a bit of commentary around why we should have the acknowledgement to country. In my mind, it's very simple. If you have an Indigenous peoples who were here for 80,000 years, stewarding the land, having that spiritual connection to the land, shouldn't you at least give them the respect of acknowledging that they were the first peoples? And until we recognise that in our constitution, no matter how multicultural we are, no matter how open-minded we are, we can never be a mature, fully blossomed nation. So it's important we remember that when we meet on their lands. I also want to thank, of course, your Consul General Wang Yu for your gracious speech and your invitation to have me here tonight to represent the Premier, and of course the Washing Arts Group who are going to entertain us. It's a very, very honourable thing to do, to celebrate 80 years of peace. We see so many troubles around the world. And sometimes it's difficult to deal with that challenge of humanity, of seeing your fellow human beings suffer, being killed in needless wars, because there's so much individualism in the world and so much self-interest. But it gives you heart, and it gives me heart here to be coming along to events like this and gatherings like this, because at the end of the day, people power matters. And when we gather in groups like this and remember history, that massive contribution that the Chinese people made in World War II, the formation of the United Nations coming out of that to try and make sure those things never happen again. When we see what happened last Sunday with the march across the bridge, 300,000 people sending a clear message that the vast majority of people in Sydney, New South Wales, Australia reject the slaughtering and the starvation of their fellow human beings. Unacceptable, and it was heartening to see us send such a clear message. And again, it shows the power of collectivism and people getting together. And of course, in Australia and particularly New South Wales, we have 550,000 people roughly of Chinese heritage, ancestry living in New South Wales. Very, very significant, with China emerging as a major world power. And the geopolitics associated with that, and the role that Australia can play to make sure we have a peaceful transition to what is a reordering of geopolitical power. And Australia's critically placed and very advantageously placed to play that key role. We're a growing country ourselves, both economically and population-wise, and a quarter of our people in New South Wales are born overseas. And having those European antecedents, and in the modern era, having such large diaspora from countries like China, India, in fact all over the world, gives us a unique perspective on having empathy with other people, having grown up in a peaceful country, but then importing different cultures and seeing things from different perspectives, I think gives Australia the unique opportunity to play that creative middle power with peace at the front of our minds. That's what it should be all about. So thank you again for the opportunity to come along here and address you tonight. It's a real honour for me. It's something that I believe in very strongly, and I want to congratulate the organisers for putting it together, because unless we're constantly vigilant about the need for peace, unless we gather together and remember what happened in our past in terms of loss of human life and wars, and indeed what's happening presently overseas, unless we're vigilant, we can go down that negative path to the dark ages again, where we have war, loss of life, and unnecessary killing. We must be vigilant all the time and constantly promote the cause of peace. That's what we're doing here tonight. That's what this lovely entertainment's for. And again, thank you for the honour of addressing you and for putting this on. Much appreciated.